Trump is planning on giving his golden dome to Elon Musk, and I don't mean the kind that he usually gives him. Whoa! I mean this golden dome, which is part of a presentation Trump gave to announce the Iron Dome for America. Although because Trump is a gaudy loser, everything has to be plated in gold. We are quite literally in a second Gilded Age. I'm also not fully convinced that Trump doesn't think it's actually going to look like this picture here, an actual literal golden dome covering the United States. Trump started making plans for this waste of money pretty much as soon as he took office. This presidential action is dated on January 27th, so you know he saw the Iron Dome that Israel famously has and thought, gee willikers, I can't wait to get my hands on one of those once I start kicking my enemies and poking my foes. And he's perfectly serious about this. I mean, over the last few weeks, he's been pushing the Pentagon to submit small, medium, and large-scale plans to build this golden dome. And just now, Trump announced how much this golden dome is going to cost us. But you know what costs you nothing? Subscribing to Really American to join our little resistance here. You can stay informed, help us get to 1 million subscribers, and join the awesome community that we have building here.
I'm also pleased to report that the one big beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed.
That's right, $25 billion now and $175 billion total to shoot down all of those missiles that are famously never hitting the United States or even being sent towards the United States. I don't know if Trump is just getting a head start on World War III since he's planning on starting that. I mean, who knows? He's been pretty quiet about Greenland and Panama. Maybe he's got the absolute worst thing cooking. And people are quick to point out just how expensive this Golden Dome is.
Critics said it would be prohibitively expensive, potentially ineffective, and could trigger an arms race in space. What do you say to those critics about that?
Well, they're wrong. It's about as close to perfect as you can have in terms of real production. I told you Canada wants to be a part of it, which be, fairly small expansion. But we'll work with them on pricing. We'll be dealing with them on pricing. They know about it very much. They've asked to be a part of it, actually. They've asked us to be a part of it. I think it's something that is great. If you can afford to do it, we can afford to do it. We took in $5.1 trillion in the last 4 days in the Middle East. And when you think about it, this is a tiny fraction of that. But we make it all here. We're going to make it all here. We have, I will tell you, an adversary told me, a very big adversary told me the most brilliant people in the world are Silicon Valley.
Now, if you've got just a couple of extra brain cells to rub together, you probably realize that a golden dome protecting the entire United States is pretty much impossible. The US is known for being quite large, whereas Israel, for example, is about the size of New Jersey. But it seems like Pete Hegseth is implying that we're going to be using this Iron Dome to stop the invasion of undocumented migrants into the US. I guess we're finally going to be shooting down all of those notorious cartel missiles.
Everybody, and Pete, go ahead.
Sure. Well, Mr. President, add this to the long and growing list of promises made and promises kept. Ultimately, this right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. Mr. President, you said we're going to secure our southern border and get 100% operational control after the previous administration allowed an invasion of people into our country. President Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland from cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, drones, whether they're conventional or nuclear.
So we can make a generational investment when it comes to protecting future American generations from those scary, scary Guatemalan missiles, but we can't make that generational investment when it comes to protecting future Americans from climate change, or education costs, or healthcare, or housing. All of those things you just gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps. No, what Americans really need is to give billions of dollars to defense contractors to make equipment that'll just either sit around and do nothing, or will be used to target undocumented migrants. So not only is the Golden Dome stupid, it's also cruel. And don't take it from me, take it from a retired colonel.
Let's start first with this idea of a Golden Dome defense system. for the United States of America. Could that even be effective in a country that is this geographically large?
Well, yeah, geographically large is, I think, a very relevant point here, Jessica, and it's great to be with you. The size of Israel is a little bit over 8,400 square miles. The United States has a square mileage of approximately 3.8 million square miles. So there's a large geographic difference between what the Iron Dome would cover and what the Golden Dome would cover, just because of that geography.
It's also, so we think about it in terms of actual physical size. There's also the geography of this, which in Israel, obviously that is a country that is surrounded by nations that and territories that can attack it or have attacked it. In this case, the United States obviously has oceans on both sides, and then Canada and Mexico. Do you think we need a defense system like this?
Well, certainly not against either Canada or Mexico, and that's one thing that you have to look at. Where's the threat actually coming from? So, if the system is going to be designed to go after hypersonic missiles, which have a global, or at least a potential global range, such as those that you find in Russia or in China, that would then be actually a different answer to your question, because the threat would actually come from overseas.
If this idiotic Golden Dome wasn't enraging enough on its own already, Elon Musk seems like he is going to be primed to take billions of dollars worth of that $175 billion price tag. Elon Musk's SpaceX could win a lucrative contract to help Donald Trump build a Golden Dome missile shield to protect America. Experts warn the controversial project could cost at least $500 billion. I can't believe that. We could literally solve world hunger with that amount of money and run the risk of starting an arms race in space. But the plan, inspired by Israel's Iron Dome defense system, has already come under fire after Musk emerged as a front-runner to help fulfill the president's golden ambitions. CNN reported that the Tesla chief made approaches to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to discuss a role in the project, and earlier this month, Bloomberg reported that he could partner with software maker Planeteer, one of the most evil companies in the world, and drone builder Anduril, another one, for a role, a claim Musk later denied. He's going to do it all on his own. This is perfect timing since Elon seems to have been scared out of politics. He says he's going to cut back on his political spending after heavily backing Trump in 2024.
In terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it. I do not currently see a reason.
Obviously, that's because he's got his money worth. His companies are now primed to make more money than ever because of the lucrative contracts that his sugar daddy Trump is going to give him, straight from the pockets of Uncle Sam. That $250 million that he spent to elect Trump and rig the election sure looks like it's going to have an insane return on investment. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.